What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all had a good day today. As expected, choppy, right? We anticipated this. I would say switch to futures because we killed it last night. I erased everything, but we were in. Was it here? Yeah. I was in at 88 and was red a tiny bit, and then we closed right at 6,600 here. I don't remember if I said it on yesterday's video, but they literally did exactly they literally did exactly what I was expecting. We had a high volume node. I don't remember the exact, but it was like 602. I know was the bottom of it. I don't remember the top, but that's irrelevant. I knew they were going to hit this, but I was pretty concerned that they were going to reject at the 6,600 psych level, sell off. My concern was that they might go low enough to stop me out before they come up and tap that 6,602 level. So I lowered my take profit down to 6,600. Ended up being a great trade. Seriously, trade futures. It's just so easy. And we'll keep on calling out these trades, on the videos, on these lives. We'll figure out where the buy side and sell side high volume nodes are, and we'll bang them out. Unfortunately, today I don't see a good setup, and I'm just planning on not trading tomorrow. Oh, and also one other thing, I need to apologize. I said that I was probably going to trade live today. I woke up, and basically after hitting this win last night, I had no reason to trade today. But that's irrelevant because even when I don't have a reason to trade live, I'll still do it, for you guys. And but anyway, when I woke up and I saw we're new all-time highs, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I don't have a reason to trade. There was also here we had our single prints, which they tapped really nicely and bounced off of. So this was a good trade if you had missed that initial run, or even if you caught it here. Great trade again. So that's that. So again, I looked at the HVNs. The only thing that we have is this one down here at the bottom. It shifted up because last night it was from 65.88 down to, I don't remember where, but I think 65.86 or something like that. But so anyway, our HVN shifted up a little bit. If they do bring price back down here, I'll be in long. But I think that's a pretty big task to happen this evening. But I mean, it might. If it does, I'll put my order in. But as of right now, I just think with FOMC on Wednesday, contract trades change tomorrow. Actually, that's what I should do is I should look at the new contracts. We'll do that. Don't let me forget. Can you guys guess what our option setup is going to be for tonight? It's a good one. Anyway, with that said, my levels were completely off because we gapped up and stayed up here, and they completely ignored the fact that we had a spike. They didn't care, and they ran this mofo. Let's erase all of this. I'm erasing this one, so we gapped through it, but it was not respected by futures. We went right through that in the overnight session. Didn't even pretend to reject from it. So I'm going to take that one off. I should add today is going to be a little bit shorter video. I wanted to get it done early because today is always a busy day for me. Basically, in an hour and 15 minutes, my son has like he meets with his first band for band practice. And then basically we have like a 2.5 hour break, and then we go back for like a jam session with a group of kids. And then tonight, for people in the mentorship group, we're going to be covering trading high volume nodes, which, I mean, you guys see it here. So that in itself is not a reason to join the mentorship group. We cover those live here. I think things are going to get interesting. We have a poor low, we have a poor high. I would really expect tomorrow for us to just trade. Actually, let me undo that. Trade in this range. You know, like we might go to the far extremes, but most likely they're going to be chopping right through here all day. And then FOMC, they're going to either clean up the low or the high, or they might clean up both. A lot of times the initial move is fake, and they might, bring it down, clean this up, and then run and make a new higher all-time high. Or they might do the inverse. But I think FOMC is going to be bullish. We'll see. I could be wrong. Absolutely insane. This has the potential to become an abandoned baby. Which I don't know why, but it's like my favorite candlestick pattern. Yeah, but we won't know until tomorrow. Good volume on the day, even though we really just did not do much of anything at all. What is our range? $1.7. Crazy. Pretty boring. Let's look at our fear and greed index, and then we'll pull up next quarter's contracts for ES and see if we see anything different there. Fear and greed index, we should be like creeping over into greed now. Yeah. No surprises there. A little bit surprised we're not like in extreme greed with how the market's been acting. For our calendar tomorrow, I don't think we have much of anything. Canada has CPI an hour before the market opens. Also, retail sales month over month, core retail sales month over month. So this should give us a little bit of volatility an hour before the market opens. But after that, really nothing happening until 2 p.m. Eastern. England has CPI year over year, which should give us a little bit of volatility. Other than that, this is what we're waiting for, is FOMC rates, statement, projections, press conference. Right. All right. I should add, I do need to be a little bit quick. Yeah, we'll have to see, Aries. I mean, anything's possible. It might already be priced in. If they don't cut rates, we are going to get an astronomical dump, like the kind that you can't flush down the toilet because it's too big. Yeah. I've never had one of those, but I've been like, in a public restroom and you walk in and you're like, whoa, when you try to flush, and no. And then you wonder what that person's butthole looks like, because this is crazy. All right. let's go ahead and look at the option setup we have for tomorrow. If they do what I think, then we should see more upside tomorrow on SPY. But they could just fade us because of FOMC. But let's see. Huge. And this, I mean, this is perfect for the traveling investor where he was like, oh, they ran. I mean, I guess, yeah, if you swung it, they gapped up, but they just sold off all day today where the market was running and Tesla was selling. Ideally, so I was thinking about whether I wanted to pull up my other chart or not, and I'm not going to. I'm just going to explain to you. Right here is my weekly upper cloud, the outside. So like for people that have seen the clouds, like you have the bottom and the top of the cloud, and this would be the entire cloud, right? We look for rejections here and we look for bounces here. And what they've done is we're always looking for the retest of a level, and they've come up, and broken through the cloud, and this is them now retesting. And from there, we're looking for them to do something like this, like probably literally right around here. They probably want to go to like 25 to 27 on Tesla. And so, unfortunately, this was the spot to get in. And I'm not saying that because of what price has done, but it literally tapped the very top of my cloud and then bounced. So unfortunately, we're not going to catch the bottom, but we're going to get in as close to the bottom as we can if they don't run this overnight. My next resistance level is right here. So I'm giving them a tiny bit of space above to where I don't want them to hit that. People jump in and then they reject and go lower. So we're going to get in a tiny bit above that next resistance level, which is 412.85. Hop in calls. First trim will be 418. Second trim 421.95. And finally, we'll just be closing at 424. This will be a day trade. And so hopefully they give it to us. Oh, and we should also look really quickly at PLTR. I will say I screwed up today. Basically, we opened below, bounced, came back above. This was where you hop in puts, one of these candles here. They sold off, hit first trim, hit second trim, hit third trim. Then they came back up. And realistically, if you're following the way that I teach it, when we tapped here, your stop loss should have been at 68.49. You should have got stopped out here when we retested this level. They tested it again, and then from there they ran. Where I screwed up was today. I was at the gym, and I happened to look, and right here I was like, "Oh, they're about to do this again. They're about to dump it." So I called it out as a good entry for puts, and unfortunately, like initially they started dumping pretty hard, and then they bounced, and it was just all bad from there. I'm still pretty shocked that they did this, but whatever, it is what it is. It's still, even now, in retrospect, I think it was a great entry. Just didn't work out in our favor, unfortunately. What? Why, errors? Why? So, I'm just now reading your message of giving back all the profits. Dude, one trade a day. Why? Like, after catching, because I know you got in at 65.88, and your take profit, as far as I know, was at 6,600, and you went to bed. And so you should have caught that entire 12-point move, and there's just no reason to trade. Like, literally none. I'm a little bit disappointed right now. But yeah. All right. Spy. Let us quickly look at the Z expiration. December contracts. I freaking hate contract switches. I don't understand why ES and NQ can't just trade at the same price, like between contracts. So basically, right now we're at 616.75, and it's going to gap up. From 16 to 74. Nice. Sorry, my other charts are loading. Why is this not loading? Let me close this really quick and reopen it. This would be my one pet peeve with Quantower. It takes forever to connect. Here, let's watch it together. What's up, Nora? Why not? You could do that, but then your price on your broker is going to be different than your price on TradingView. Where your levels are going to be different. What I do is I trade the new contract. I chart the new contract and trade the new contract for like a week or two. And then I switch back to ES1. Maybe we're not going to be able to do this. I don't know. Maybe it's down for maintenance because just nothing is happening. All right, I'm going to just leave this. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to use it, but let's just go ahead. I'm really just not expecting much of anything tomorrow. Ideally, I would say just don't trade. Christian's now asking how to highlight the messages on the screen. No, it doesn't, Nora. Like when you're live, let me see. No. I'll show you what we're talking about. Or at least I hope I will. Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna go back to the Tesla solar.
Where?
Getting ready to.
That is my largest holding. With the environment, they have. He does. They involved in the company.
I don't.
Struck less.
Can somebody type?
Them. And people would actually on Twitter, over. They might go.
Main cars in the
You
UK
pop up
have
the
a
chat
target,
here,
by
like one
2030.
individual message, Nora, and that's what
I
we're
think it's
talking
wishful
about.
thinking
Yeah, and I don't
because
know how to do
infrastructure's
it.
not here, but we want by 2030
I just click on
every new
a
car
membership.
sold
I
to
just
be
click on a message. Nope. At least not that I see. Where are you clicking on the message? Yeah, I just don't see a way to do it. I don't know. Unfortunately. You know, like I know Keenan does it as well. I don't know. I guess I'll Google it. I've been trying to figure it out, and every time I Google it, like it's showing me something completely irrelevant to what I'm trying to find. Maybe I'm not wording it right, but it doesn't work for me. StreamYard. That's probably the information I need. All right, I'll have to check it out. I've used it before with you. I don't know if I have an account. I guess I used my Google account. All right. I don't like 0-day options unless it meets a certain criteria, which is, let me look for an example. So like this here, when on a 30-minute time frame, when the L period, oh, this didn't even do it. We'll pretend it did. When the L period makes like a new high of the day, the L period is going to be your 12 o'clock candle. So if it makes a new high of the day, or if it makes a new low of the day, then you expect there's like an 80% chance that the M period is going to make a higher high, or if it made a new low of the day, then there's an 80% chance that the M period will make a new lower low. And so when that happens, I look for an entry to grab SPX 0DTE options and play that last 30 minutes on the M period. And generally, 80% of the time you get that spike, and you can make some really quick, easy money doing that. So that's the only time I really like to use 0DT options. You're just less likely what's it called? You're just less likely to why can't I English right now? You're less likely to get destroyed by theta if you get further out contracts. So Nora, you just stream using StreamYard versus using like OBS or whatever? Because I'll have to look into it. Let me see if by some random chance this loaded. It did not. I'm going to try this one more time because I would really like that information. All right, good to know. Thanks, Nora. I'll look into it more then. All right. While I'm waiting to see if that's going to load, I don't think it will. I'm guessing Quantower is down for maintenance, but I would really just be playing this range here. If by some chance they come down to here, I would expect them to bounce here. If they do this, this would be ideal. Oh, I don't think I finished talking about going live. So I watched today, or I woke up, I looked, and I was like, ew, yucky, new all-time highs. I'm good. Don't need to trade. Made my money last night. And I was thinking instead go live Wednesday. Because Wednesday we should have some good volatility. And yeah, I would rather just go live on Wednesday instead. Kind of expecting this, really. So there's a chance that they do this. I would not be looking for calls, though, as we don't have levels up above. Unfortunately, my other chart's not loading, so I'm my hands are tied. What's it called? Why can't I freaking English right now? Oh, so my hands are tied. I can't, but I don't think that we would find any high volume nodes anyway on the new contracts. But it was worth taking a look, but unfortunately we can't see them. I'm going to go ahead and post this in Keenan's again. I just expect them to be choppy tomorrow. I'll be live with you guys on Wednesday. Unfortunately, I have to leave before FOMC minutes, so I have an appointment with a CPA and an accountant and whatever, so I won't be able to be here for that, but I'll just go live in the morning and we'll just see if we see any setups, and if not, we'll just talk about educational stuff. Vector Man, I see your question. I will answer you in just a second, okay? Bear with me. All right. Okay. Vector Man's question is, why is it considered harder to grow $100 account to 1,000 over 3,000 to 10,000, not using leverage? So it almost feels like I'm being tested here, because it's a very basic noobish question that, like, and it's not a big deal. I'm going to answer it, but it just feels like somebody's here trying to prove a point. I could be wrong. Where you're asking a very basic question that anybody with any kind of trading knowledge would know the answer to. Whereas somebody asking a general basic question like that would not know to say without using leverage. Right? So I think you already know the answer, but maybe other people that are here don't. And again, I feel like I'm just being tested, which whatever. I'll say this really quick. I have nothing to prove here. Day after day after day, I call out trades live before they happen. People that follow me make a lot of money. I do very well. And the thing is like, it's so easy, if you're full of shit and you don't know how to trade, to post wins. And okay, no, that's cool. So Vector's like, no, I'm not. I'm literally trying to grow my 100 to 1,000 using my own money. And that's fine. Just that one part, you saying not using leverage, makes it seem like a test, but this isn't personal, you know. A lot of people, you know, sometimes will like to come into YouTube channels and flex and, you know, whatever. And if I was really worried about that, I just wouldn't answer the question, but I'm going to answer the question, and I trust that you're genuinely asking. No, you're good. Just the verbiage. I think most people would be like, that's kind of weird, like really basic question, and then to know to say without using leverage, right? Anyway, the point I was getting at is I literally have nothing to prove. Like, my people, no, again, I believe you, I promise. The people that are here day after day, they see it over and over and over again. When you see somebody that calls out trades before they happen, and calls out the levels like to a T, right? I mean, this, if we just look really quickly, sorry. If we do this, actually, I want it without all of this crap. So would it be here? Maybe. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So if we go backwards, and delete, well, first let's go to 30 minutes. And let's get rid of this day. Right? Why stop? Don't. And so, again, I don't remember the exact level for the bottom, and that's fine. But what we had was at 65.88, right? Down to, again, I don't remember. Let's just say 65.86. It doesn't matter because we got in at the top. And the other thing that we had was... Wait, why is this weird? Oh, that's why. On regular trading hours, we had a spike, right? So here's our spike. And the reason that I'm drawing the spike will make sense in a second. My stop loss, so my entry is this green box. Up here at 6602, and then I think it was just like, it was a really small range, like 6602 to 6603, right? We had a sell side HVN. Down here we had a buy side high volume node. We have the spike and the spike base, right? This is a strong high. So I was really concerned that price was going to come to here, reject, or actually, sorry. I was worried about the psych level at 6,600. So this is where we closed our trade. And the reason being is we have this strong high at the top. And this is a massive psychological level, 6,600. Our entry was at the top of this green box. I knew entering at the top of this green box, there was a chance they would come down and tap the spike base. But I didn't want to miss the trade by a few points if they did bounce from the top of our high volume node. So I got in here knowing there's a good chance they come to here. My stop loss, I don't remember exactly where it was, but it was somewhere. Actually, I think it was like 8 points, 6 points. Let's see. Oops. This was our entry. This was our take profit. And our stop loss was... here, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. The reason being, again, I expected them to possibly bounce off the top of the high volume node. I also expected there's a good chance they would come to the spike base and bounce. If we lose the spike, then my trade is pretty much invalidated, and most likely they're going to end up going lower, right? So that would be the reason why my stop loss is here. Take profit here because we have a strong high. We have a sell side high volume node at the top. And I kind of figured they were going to do something like this. Come to here, reject, possibly go significantly lower, and then come back inside and do something like this. Okay? And I'm showing you exactly what I thought, even though this is not exactly what they did. So if I was lying, I would, show exactly what they did do, because I do know what they did. They came down to here. They went a little bit lower. They actually bounced off the spike base like I expected. Came up barely, like literally top ticked 6,600, and they sold off from there and hit. I don't remember exactly where, but they hit the buy side high volume node, and they rocketed and went and made a new all-time high. So if we turn off the replay, this was literally the trade that we called out live last night. This was our entry right here on this candle, or this candle. They did end up basically tapping the spike base like I kind of figured they would. From there, they bounced. We barely peaked above 6,600. So they hit 66.75, and then they rejected all the way back down to our buy side high volume node. Again, I was expecting them to possibly go lower. From here, they bounced it. They finally went up. They hit this sell side high volume node, and I expected them to reject there and go lower, but they didn't. They kept going and they went higher. But the point is this was the trade I was looking for, and I got exactly what I was looking for. And I call these out over and over and over again live before they happen, or when I trade live, I call out trades that hit over and over and over again. And so my point is like I really just don't have anything to prove as far as calling out trades or whatever else. When you see people do it live, they actually know what they're doing. If they can't do it live, they have no clue what they're doing, right? And you don't want to listen to those people. So with all of that said, to answer your question, Vector, the reason that it's hard to turn 100 into 1,000 versus like 3 into 10. I mean, first of all, it's completely different math. So in one scenario, 100 into 1,000, you're trying to 10x it, right? And 3,000, you're starting with an advantage because you only need to 3x it, a little bit more than 3x, like 3.25 or whatever, to get to 10,000. So that's one thing, the math. But I know that's not what your question is. So even if we change the math to make it even, where it's like 100 into 1,000 versus 1,000 into 10,000, because that would be the same math. The issue is with $100, you have to take really small contracts, and really small contracts tend to have like really bad theta decay. And so you need to be like really right about the stuff that you're buying, which is difficult to do. And then the other issue is when you're trading, you should only be risking about 1 to 3% of your capital on any given trade. And if you're doing $100, 1 to 3% means you can only risk $1 to $3 per trade, which is basically impossible. So in order to trade using proper risk management with $100, it's technically impossible. So the reason that it's so difficult is mathematically, I don't know why I'm going to draw this, but I am. Mathematically, you can be incorrect 18 times in a row, right? So you could take 18 trades and every single one of them could lose, which is why you're only supposed to risk 1 to 3% of your portfolio when you trade. And mathematically, you could be correct 18 times in a row. But this would require a lot of luck. And you would need like this kind of luck to spin up $100. Or you would need to be at least right, like 5 or 6 times in a row, to where you're up in the hundreds and you can start risking a little bit more on each trade. But turning $100 into 1,000 is a pretty monumental task, and the only people that are really going to be able to pull it off are really, really good traders, like exceptionally good traders, or people that are extremely lucky. I was in a Discord server once where there was about 8 analysts. They're not analysts. But they were called like analyst so-and-so, analyst so-and-so, whatever. And from what I could see, like they were pretty subpar traders. And they decided to do a challenge on their Discord server where all 8 of these analysts, and again, they need quotation marks, take $300 and turn it into, I want to say 1,000. And every single one of them failed. And 300 to 1,000 is way easier than 100 to 1,000. So there's there's a handful of people that I know that I would be confident to say could take $100 and turn it into 1,000. And actually not even a handful, like maybe two, maybe three that I know personally. Actually, no, I probably know about 5 people that could do it. But even with that said, of those 5 people, if all 5 of them were to start a $100 account today and try to turn it into 1,000, I guarantee you, like 2 or 3 of them would fail because it's so hard to do. It is, Christian, the same Discord that's got a big old hard on for ICT. Yeah. I don't know if you're in that same Discord with me, Christian, but I'm like so close to leaving. They just annoy me, and there's absolutely nothing there for me. So Vector Man, if you only have $100, you should become an investor and not a trader. Yeah, so Mark, 1,000 into 13,000 is also very difficult. And I'm sure that you would agree that there was some degree of luck there in doing it. Oh, okay, Christian. Yeah. This is hard for people to swallow, but I mean, I'm going to say it anyway because it's just the reality. Hey, what's up, Socks for Real? If you're if all that you can afford to use for trading is $100, you need to not try to be trading. You should just start investing. Take your money, wait until, like a stock that you like is on sale and buy a share. And then wait till another stock that you like is on sale and buy a share. What you should be doing is finding a side hustle where you can build up a bigger bankroll to use for trading. And then a lot of people's reply to that is, well, trading is my side hustle. And it's like, no, it's not. If you only have $100, it's not your side hustle. You want it to be. And when I say this, I'm not trying to sound harsh or mean or anything like that. I'm just trying to be real, and hopefully prevent you some headaches. Ideally what you should do is dive really deep into studying while you're investing and while you're doing some kind of side hustle to make extra money that you can eventually use to day trade with. But you want to like really study. A lot of people study just so half-assed, like it's just not even funny. I think for somebody that's just like barely studying enough, you should be reading at least 10 books a year. I know for myself, when I was learning how to trade, I would be up until like 1 o'clock in the morning, reading, studying, whatever. And then I would go to sleep and I would wake up 4 hours later to trade. So like when I was really focused on learning, I would average probably about 3 to 4 hours of sleep a day. Vector Man, it's basically impossible without luck. And trading is not about luck, right? And again, the best traders that I know would struggle to turn $100 into 1,000. I think, again, I mean, I'm guesstimating, but I think if 5 people, like the best traders that I know, if 5 of them started with $100, especially trading options, trying to turn it into 1,000, maybe 2 or 3 might succeed, maybe. And I'm talking like the absolute just goated traders that I know, like just absolutely insane traders. There is another way to do it, which is if you took that same $100, I mean, you would need a little bit more. Let's say you take $150 and I take those same 5 traders and say, hey, use $150 to buy a prop account and trade futures. Every single one of them would probably turn it into $1,000 with no problem whatsoever. Yep. What I do is I keep about $300 in an options account, and I'll buy an option, and anything over $300, I'll roll over into shares. Or, I mean, it'll sit cash until, like some shares that I want to buy are on sale, and then I'll buy shares. If there's something on sale that I really want, I'll add money to my account to buy the shares. If my account dips below like $300 cash, then I will try to take trades to get it back to 300. If for whatever reason I lose the 300, then I'll redeposit another 300. But that's kind of what I do. Anytime I'm over 300, I'll use that money to buy shares. Vector Man, trading futures is way easier than trading options. I'm not saying that prop accounts are for beginners. I didn't say that. Not even slightly. However, no, Mark, ES did not open 50 points above. It's a contract change. The ES did not open 50 points above. We already covered this in this video today. So the current contract for ES is ESU 2025, which is trading at 66.16, right? Or 1550, I guess, whatever. The close was 16. Today or tomorrow is like when everybody generally changes to the December contracts, which is going to be ESZ 2025, which is trading at 66.73. So there's no gap. Yeah. Yep. U contracts expire Friday. We also talked about this yesterday, and I also gave the link to this site that I use. But you go to sorry, I'm pulling it up. If we go here, you scroll down, and this is our December contracts. And this is our September contracts. And you can see as of right now, December contracts have exceeded September contracts in volume. And this is the day that you switch to the Z contract. Is generally like the 3rd Tuesday of the month or whatever. 2nd. Yeah, 3rd Tuesday of the month is generally the time that you switch. But you want to do it when basically the volume exceeds the volume of the previous contract. I'll drop this link again. But yeah, I shared it yesterday. You don't need thousands for MES. MES is, I mean, it depends on the broker, but it's generally $50 of margin for one MES. So if you had $700, you can trade one MES. Just most people are not patient enough, right? Nobody can answer that, Vector. Like, yeah, areas there really isn't. This one shifted up. But it's way down here. I don't expect price to come down here. 590 to 65.88. Yeah. I would recommend if you're trading futures, I would start with at least a minimum of 500 to 1,000. You could start with less, but you're not giving yourself very much breathing room, right? And basically what Shorty's saying is like, let's just say you did deposit $700 or $1,000, and you take things really patiently and take your time, right? So like, let's just say last night we called out that trade. It was 12 points, right? If you took 2 MES on that trade, it's not very much. So MES is $5 per point. Yeah. MES basically for every 25-cent move is $1.25. And then you would multiply that by 4 to give you 1 point, and it's $5. The trade that we called out last night was 12 points. So if you had 2, that would be $10. You would have made $110 last night. $120, sorry. So if you took 2 MES last night, you would have grown your whatever $700 to $1,000 account by $120. If you take, and I guess another example was, I think the last trade that I called out was 22 points. So if you took the same two MES for 22 points, then you're making $222. And I guess what I'm saying is, if you just literally listen to what I'm saying every day when I go live, and again, I'm not taking anything right now. I'm not going to trade tonight unless by some odd crazy chance they give me this, I'll be long. And I would probably just target like, I'd probably target this actually, right here. So if they gave me 65.90, I would be long up to like 66.05 or 66.04, something like that. But anyway, if you were to just tune in every day, or better yet, learn yourself how to find high volume nodes and how to trade them, and literally just trade off of that with a small account, you can literally spin it up into whatever you want, whatever your heart's desire is money-wise. But I guess what I'm ultimately saying is, you can come here and I think most days I call out like long here, close here, or short here, close here. Yeah, so Christian's got it down. It's a cheat code. Ryan, I have not been live trading enough, to be honest. I feel like every day it's either choppy or we're at new all-time highs, and I don't like to trade either one of those scenarios. So like, I wake up, I look, and I'm like, yeah, fuck that, I'm good. Um, so what Christian's talking about is, if we come over here to my journal, this is the last, I would say 6 weeks. I don't know exactly how many of these, and this is a small account. I don't know exactly how many of these trades I called out live, but I took 24 trades, 70% win rate, and increased the account by like 150%. And I think most of these trades were called out live. So, yeah, like if you just follow, it's money. This one here was great. This we called out. This is MES. $620 profit. Where, how much should we catch? 25 points. So it's doable. And Ryan Reed, to answer your question, I will be trading live a lot more. I just need the market to cooperate, you know. But anyway, if you tune into these lives almost every single night, I'm like, oh, this is a good setup. They don't always trigger. But yeah, Aries, but I'm using proper risk management on my accounts. I'm not not trying to blow my account. So actually, I don't know if I should talk about this publicly. I was talking to my wife. My plan is to open 20 accounts, link them all. Small accounts. Trade MES until I grow it, you know, enough to switch over to ES. And then do that and then cash out. So that's the next thing on the agenda. And it's going to be the same thing that I've been doing. Every single trade will be based on HVNs. Every single one I'll probably call out here live. And we'll just play the levels like we've been doing over and over and over again. But yeah, if you just follow those trades, they hit, they slap. And I don't know, Vector, I think I'm feeling generous. If you have access on Discord, DM me. If you don't have access on Discord, then email me. I will try to hook you up a little bit. There's my email. With that said, I have to run. Again, I'm not really going to be looking for a trade tonight. I don't see any setups that I really love. There is like an SR flip here where the issue is like we already broke through, right? And this was the retest. This is where you should have entered long. If we come back to here, there's a chance they bounce, but there's also a chance we lose it and go lower. Probably not terrible risk to reward to try to get in long from here. 66.0550. Or if you don't want to miss the trade, maybe 66.06. And you could do this with a really tight stop loss. Like, just give them a couple points. If they do happen to come down to here, I will put an order in at 65.90, and I would be closing it right around 66.05ish, 66.04. Okay. But I don't think either one of those things are going to happen. I will not be trying to long here. Just for me, I don't really like the setup. If they do come here, I'll definitely take a long. And if I see it, I'll try to call it out, in the Discords. But I got to run. I got to go take my kid to his practice. So as always, much love, much respect to everybody. Hopefully that Tesla plays slaps tomorrow. And we will